Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in and mubad. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. We witness that God is one alone. There are no other gods with him, no partners. As he reveals in the Quran to Muhammad the Prophet for us, that anyone who comes to him, they come only as a servant, not as a God or office holder sharing in divine office, and there is none like him. And we witness that Muhammad, to whom the Quran was revealed, is his servant and his messenger. We salute him with the traditional salute. The prayers and the peace be on him, his followers, and his family, and all of what follows of that tradition. Ameen. Once again, dear brothers and sisters, I greet you with the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Juma Mubarak. We welcome you to this blessed day. We welcome you to this joyous occasion, for this is a happy time for the Muslim. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. This is a time to revisit, to recollect, to reflect. This is a time to resort back to that of our original nature. And our original nature is the nature to submit to the will of Almighty God Allah. That is our original nature. So the Jummah day is the most important day for the Muslim. This is where we come, commune with our brother and our sister, where we come fellowship, and where we come worship. We thank Allah for allowing us with another opportunity to worship Him. We thank Allah for allowing us with another opportunity to fulfill our obligations as Muslims and to be a benefit and a mercy for all humanity. We say Alhamdulillah, for He is Allah, the most merciful, the all-knowing. No slumber can seize Him nor sleep. He is Allah, the eternal, the absolute, as it says in the Quran. He is Allah, the truth, Al-Haq. No assistance does Allah need in His domain. He is the creator of everything. In the Quran, it says, in one of the more popular and common chapters, Surat al-Ikhlas, say, He is Allah, the one, the only, Allah, the eternal, the absolute. He begets not, nor is He begotten, and there is none like unto Him. Elsewhere in the Quran, it says, is there a creator other than Allah? Is there a creator other than Allah? It also says in the Quran, no son did Allah beget, nor is there any God along with Him. If there were many gods, behold, each God would have taken away what He had created, and some would have lorded it over others. Glory to Allah, He is free from the sort of things they attribute to Him. These chapters, these verses are pointing out the oneness of Almighty God Allah. So not only does the Quran say that He is Allah, the eternal, the absolute, He begets not, meaning that He has no son, nor is He begotten, meaning He didn't come from anything. Not only is it saying that, but it is also saying that if there were many gods, if He had assistants, if there were other managers over creation along with Allah, then there would be confusion. The Quran also said, The creator of the heavens and the earth. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He has made for you pairs from amongst yourselves, and pairs among cattle. By this means does he multiply you. There is nothing, whatever like unto him, and he is the one that hears and sees all things. Dear brothers and sisters, the fact remains. The fact remains that we exist as a civilization. We can look around us and see that we are a part of existence, a part of creation. The universe exists as a creation. The creator, the designer, the hearer, the all-seeing. We prostrate. We bow down. We submit ourselves. We give respect to, and we worship whatever that is responsible for the perfect construction of all that exists. We understand as Muslims, those who consciously respond to the command of that creator, we understand that the proper name of the one who stands alone on the throne of authority is Allah. The proper name of the one who stands alone on the throne of authority is Allah. This is what Allah means. The one who stands alone on the throne of authority. The one who has created everything. The one who is responsible for the fulfillment of creation, for the perfect design of what is constructed. But these verses talk about the oneness of Allah. These verses also talk about if there were multiple gods. But these verses also talk about how God creates everything in multiples. How he creates human beings in pairs. And we multiply. So Allah multiplies us. He creates many humans for the benefit of all of creation. So we are many, but Allah is one. So the name Allah is reserved for the one responsible for the perfect construction of the universe. The perfect construction of the universe. So we're dealing with oneness and we're dealing with multiples. So we see here that creation is multiplied. Creation is many. Creation is multiple. Allah tells us in the Quran that if there were multiple gods, there would be confusion. So there has to be one to rule over the multiple so that the one can keep in check, so that the one can keep in line so that there's no confusion over the many. So as Muslims, we submit to Allah. We say, Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater. Is greater than all of creation. We say, Alhamdulillah. We give all the praises and thanks to Allah, the one that is responsible. So this keeps us from elevating ourselves or bringing down the greatness of Almighty God Allah. This also keeps us from trying to close the gap between creation and the Creator. There's a distinct separation between the two. Say He is Allah, the one, the only. Surah Al-Ikhlas. It is said in closing the first part that if one understands this surah, if not the shortest, it's one of the shortest surahs in the Quran. If one understands this surah, then he has understood the whole of the Quran. Please join me to do as we close the first part. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Our Lord, grant us good in this life and good in the hereafter, and save us from the fires of hell, uncontrolled passions. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Just briefly, I wanted to point out, because in recent times, well, for me, just in the last couple of days, I've gotten a large number of calls, scam calls. I know we went over this before, but I just wanted to point out and reiterate to the community, just for those who may not be fully aware. You get the scam calls, they call you, they know your first name, they may know a little bit of information, like maybe where you work. And I got a call recently, someone said, Mr. Shabazz, yes. They said, we're going to cut your energy. We're going to cut your electricity off in the next 30 minutes. And I said, okay. I thought it was a city calling to inform me that they were going to cut my energy off, maybe because they were doing some electrical work in the area. And I said, okay. I asked a couple questions. So, when is it going to be back on? They said, oh, well, that's up to you. I said, what do you mean? They said, oh, we're looking here and it seems like you have an outstanding balance on your bill. So the follow-up was, and this is what most banks and people that have your personal information, companies, they said, we need to get some personal information from you so that we can verify this is you. And this is how they get you. Because if you, like I bank with BECU, when BECU calls you, they say the same thing. To verify it's you, we need your mother's maiden name, we need the last four of your social, and we need your bank account, last four of your bank account. So they were trying to get that information. What is your social security number? What is this? What is that? And once they get that information, they don't need to ask you any more information. They got all your stuff. So they can just run your, whatever they need to do, steal your identity. So I said, well, they were trying to get me to pay the bill over the phone. That's what it was. I said, well, and I never verified who I was or anything. I said, well, you have the bill in front of you, don't you? He was like, yeah. I said, was there a manager or somebody I can talk to? Well, we can just take care of it right now. Don't worry about it. So I said, okay, well, I pay all my bills online. So I just go online and I just catch myself up on my bill. No big deal. Well, we're going to cut your stuff off. We're going to cut the next 30 minutes. We're going to cut it off. I said, well, let me talk to somebody, And then the guy said, when I started talking about that, he said, oh, Mr. Shabazz, he said, you know what's going on. Or he said something, but he let me know that he knew that I was on to what he was doing. And then he said something in Spanish and got off the phone. So we just have to be aware because they're getting more and more crafty. They're getting more crafty. We know the common ones, but now they're calling you with a recording saying it's the IRS. If anybody knows about the IRS, they don't call people on the phone. They're calling you saying the Social Security office. Social Security, there's a breach, your identity's been stolen. Call this number back. And I was talking to somebody and they said the reason why they have you call them back is because when you call them back, and if they do take your information, they're not in violation of anything because you called them. So it's almost like you're asking them to take your information. So let us keep our head on the swivel and be alert all the time. When somebody calls us, if anything sounds funny, just go ahead, just hang the phone up. Every major company, if it's something serious, they'll send you something in the mail. Just like if you don't pay a parking ticket, they're not calling you from downtown. They will send you something in the mail saying you're 15 days past due. So if somebody calls you, I just hang the phone up. Don't even talk to anybody about nothing. All right. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, in the second through fourth chapter. It says, "This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance of those conscious of Allah, taqwa, who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, the salat, and spend out of what we have provided for them, the zakat, and who believe in what has been revealed to you, O Muhammad, and what was revealed before you, and of the hereafter, they are certain in faith. Those are upon right guidance from their Lord, and it is those who are the successful." The first verse, this is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those who have taqwa, God consciousness. It's talking about the Quran. This is a guidance for those who have God consciousness, who are aware, and who believe in what has been, subhanAllah, who believe in the unseen. They have a fear of Allah, a healthy fear of Allah. They believe in the unseen, the things that Allah tells us exist, including Himself, that we can't visibly see with our eyes. Establish regular prayer. It starts to talk about the pillars, salat, and the zakat. They go hand in hand in the Quran. This ayat in the Arabic, ayat 3, when it says establish regular prayer and spend out of what we have provided for them, it's razakunahum yunfikun. Razakunahum yunfikun. So you see the zakat is in there. Zakunahum. Zakat. That word comes from zakat. And spend out of what we have provided for them. So we look at zakat. The terminology, the definition, loosely translated, the more common definition, is paying a tax on the money that you have earned. Zakat is used here, and it is translated as spend out of what we have provided for them. And then it goes on to say in the next couple verses that those are upon right guidance from the Lord, and it is those who will be successful. So the zakat is what Allah provides for us. That's the first part. The second part of the zakat is when we take what Allah has provided for us and we spend it. We give. Another translation of that verse, and from our provisions to them, they give to charity. So the zakat is a charity. It is an obligation on the Muslim to pay the zakat. But why do we pay the zakat? Because we understand that it is something that Allah has provided for us. I know when I used to attend the church, listening to my grandmother talk, she used to say, that ain't my money, that's God's money. So Allah gives us the means. He provides for us the things that we need, and we are to take what He has given us, and we are to redistribute it back out to the community. So the word zakuna, coming from the word zakat, which means, if you look at the definition of it in totality, the word zakat means to be pure and clean, to grow and to succeed through giving. This is what zakat actually means. To succeed and to grow and to be pure through giving. So zakat is a purification. But zakat is also a form of progress and a form of growth. Zakuna means they give. So it is speaking to the ummah when it's saying zakunahum in this verse. And they spend out of what we have provided for them. So the zakat is something of value. We oftentimes translate it as actual dollars and money. And that is what it is, because that's the commonality that everyone shares. Everyone can go make money. So when it comes time to pay your tax, if you will, then everybody can dig in their pockets and give. And you can say, look, this is how much you are to spend. It's based on your income. So that's a very easy way of translating that. But when you look at the zakat, the Quran is not saying dollars. Technically, the Quran is talking about giving of what Allah provides for you. That is the obligation on the Muslim, to give what Allah has provided for you. And the incentive is that it will purify you. It will cleanse you. It will help you grow. And Allah said those are the ones who will be successful. So, we know that the zakat has value because Allah gave it to us. Anything that Allah gives to us is higher value. We are to value what He gives us more than we are to value that thing that the person who we respect the most has given us. Our father, our grandfather, grandmother, someone has left, or like Brother Naeem went to the Muhammad Ali Museum and we buy some memorabilia. Now, we respect Muhammad Ali to the utmost. So if we have an artifact or a piece of art or something from Muhammad Ali's collection, then we value that. We hang it up on our walls, we show it off to people when they come in, and we have a story behind it. When Allah blesses us with something, we are to value it more than even that, because we understand that Muhammad Ali was even a gift from Allah. And whatever he has or done has came from Allah. So Allah has blessed us with many different things. But what's for sure, as Muslims, we don't know if we'll have money. We don't know if we'll have talents. We don't know how smart we'll be. We don't know how healthy we'll be. But when we become Muslims, when we have the God consciousness, as these verses say, the taqwa, when we have the healthy fear of Allah, Allah has said, I have given you this book, the Quran. This is a book about which there is no doubt a guidance for those who have taqwa. So Allah has blessed us with this Quran as a gift. He has given it to us. Last week, we talked about an attribute of Allah, Al-Fatah. And out of that word Fatah, you get Fatiha. Al-Fatiha means the opening. That attribute of Allah is the opener. So Allah being the opener,